That's off the new album. No,
it's off Labour Love 4, which came out a week ago. I think it's in the top 30. I'm so proud of that. You know, we were just talking while the record was playing. We were talking off air how it's getting incredibly difficult now for bands to sell a record. If you haven't got a TV ad going on, or if you're not on the checkout in Asda or Sainsbury's or Tesco's, you know, you're going to struggle to get in the charts. And now, you know, we were talking even before about Spotify and Warner's taking all their products off there, which I suppose brings us to the download file sharing thing, which, you know, it's a real dichotomy right now. The whole music industry, the entertainment industry really is in a state of flux. If you're a young act without a record label, without a deal, we've had 30 years of building a fan base behind you all around the world. Like, we've been lucky enough to do that at the prime time in music when it was easier to do it. But if you haven't done that, then file sharing is an incredible opportunity to get your music out there. And, you know, people will pay for it. I see free files, but I'll pay for them, you know, if I can. If it's possible to, I'll put some money in. The dichotomy comes when it comes to like acts like ourselves. I suppose you could call us heritage acts because we've been around so long. Yeah. And we kind of, our audiences come to see us regardless of if we had a top 10 hit or not, you know. And whereas we've got recording contracts where we have to deliver an album, and we have to deliver it mastered to a certain degree. We can't make it on our laptops in our bedrooms. We're not pro Logic engineers, we're just musicians. But that's it, we go in, point the instruments into a mic. And it's tough because we still have to deliver the albums. It still costs a couple of £100,000 to make. People live all over the world. You know, we have to get into it. There's huge expenses associated with it. And getting it marketed and getting the TV ads made to even try and recoup the recording costs. Because that's, if we're lucky, we'll make back the recording costs. We won't make any money, I can't say. But even a week before the album was released, before I'd even seen it in its cover printed up, 240,000 copies have been downloaded on 22,000 sites. Now, that's fantastic if you can do that. If you've never had a record out and you're struggling and you want the world to know what your music's about, you know, that passion's burning in your heart and you need to get out there. For us, it's difficult.
Is that all paid for as well?
No, it's not paid for. That's you know, that's
illegal file sharing.
Peer to peer, you know, illegal file sharing. I mean, let's call it illegal. I mean, look, it's the future. It's the way things are going. The business has always been run. The music business has always been run by the old guys. Yeah. The young guys make the decisions. The old guys sign the checks. Yeah. The old guys have still got to catch up with the young guys. It's always been the case, and that's why music is incredible. It's a young people's art form. It's a teenagers' expressive art form. The fact that 50-year-olds like me, and there's a lot of us around, are still around, is because we're all eternal teenagers now. We've all got 10,000 toys. We walk around with toys, no matter how old we are. We want to relive our youth constantly. We buy fashion in size 42 waists. You know what I mean? And shirts that disguise your beer belly, well, that's what you think. You know what I mean? But as long as it suits us in the mirror, that's all we care about. We're eternal teenagers, and we carry our audiences with us, and they carry their teenage obsessions with them, you know, the bands that they love. And there's a flux going on. It will sort itself out, and the people that will sort it out are the teenagers in music, yet again, like they always have. Every time it gets a bit crappy, there's a revolution. I was a punk rocker, you know. I saw the Sex Pistols and the Clash in Birmingham at bars. Do you know what I mean? I saw the Sex Pistols on the spots in Wolverhampton at a club called the Lafayette, and then Hells Angel hit me on the head with a bottle because he didn't like my trousers. And I mean, that were the times, you know, but it was all exciting, and we felt, well, that's what's supposed to happen. And punks were very into reggae, you know. Yeah, so all our little gang from Borsalef, we just had the greatest time. I think we're waiting for something to be reinvented. Yeah. I mean, the technology's taking us there. Yeah. All I hear is fantastic bands now because they can make multi-track recordings in their bedroom with their own guitars, and they've got no PR man or A&R man waiting to sign them up and say, yeah, you're good enough to make a record, and making their own. That's incredible because all you need is an idea. Everything else is peripheral.
Like the Streets, really. They haven't, you know.
Like the Streets, yeah. Little Cockney Brummie that he is.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you like his music?
He's all right, you know. Yeah, it's great.
Is there any new kind of music at the moment that you are really into, that you found a band you think they're brilliant, that come out in the last few years?
It's another cop out now. It would be unfair of me to start naming bands because I would miss so many. And I'm very altruistic when it comes to Birmingham. I love Birmingham, and I love the people here. And I think we don't get a fair deal out there in the world. But I want to support Birmingham acts. I love music. I love new music. I mostly listen to new music. I don't listen to our music once it's recorded. I wanted to play some tunes today, which I put on my thing. I mean, I'm kind of trying to look in a bigger sense around the world because we've got the whole world listening to us right now. I hope, or people from all over the world. I think Richard Hawley's doing something nice. So I'll defend everybody's right to make a record, regardless of how bad their singing voice is, how poorly they play the guitar. I mean, just because I've been doing this for a lifetime, it's only 12 notes. It gets easier and easier the more you practice. You don't necessarily get better at playing them. I hear 16-year-olds playing better guitar than some 50-year-olds, well, a lot of 50-year-olds.
While we're on the question of instruments, you may know this lady on Twitter, Rebecca Sharp.
Rebecca Sharp, Bex is a lovely lady.
She's asked, why the sax, and what other instrument does you wish you could play?
Thanks Becky, what a lovely question. Why the saxophone? Because it didn't need any electricity to plug it in. And I thought, well, if a band doesn't work out, I'll go busking around the south of France. I'll learn some Beatles tunes, and I'll pay. I'll get my way around there. A saxophone was very fashionable in the 70s. It was still a hip instrument, incredibly difficult to play unless you put the hours in. But once you do, it starts making sense. But I wished I'd picked the guitar up, and I sit at home. I've got about 15 guitars. And I play along to every commercial, and I drive the families absolutely insane. My kids scream at me, say, will you stop? They throw leads away, they take the fuses out the plugs, they break the amplifiers, they actually break them, so they don't work anymore. But I wish I'd been a guitar player, I love guitar, I'm really bad at it. I play loads of chords, I'm really bad, but
Fantastic. While we're on, Rebecca has, I've been told, had a long-running bet with you.
Yeah.
About not being able to get some champagne delivered.
How on earth do you know all this?
Well, obviously you tweeted out last week, I think, when it was all announced.
I think we've done our research as well.
We've done our research as well.
Great research.
I hope this goes well. She's actually sent you a present.
A bottle of Bollinger?
Not one.
Not one.
Not one.
Six bottles of Bollinger.
And,
it's good to be the king. If only you'd pick saxophone instead of school. You guys went to school. I didn't go to school. I just stayed up smoking joints and drinking bottles of champagne. Well, Becky, I don't know what to say. I sent her a record this week. I sent her a copy of the album, That's a beautiful thing about Twitter. You might only get 140 characters to write it. But you get to know people easier. Sometimes the words get in the way of getting to know people. When you have to think about what you're saying, you get to see the soul of a person. And this is a lovely lady. She's got a donkey sanctuary and reindeers and all sorts of things. Becky, I'm going to stick this bit of film up on the internet. Thank you so much. And I think we better open one of these. Can we drink in the studio? Of course we can.
Another bottle here.
For you, anything, bro.
Well, that's a lovely thing.
A cheeky one, because we didn't want you to open your... What is 6 bottles? Is it a Magnum or half a Magnum?
I think it's half a dozen. I don't know.
Should we play another track while we open that champagne?
Indeed.
Yes, please.
What do you want to play?
Can I have a look at the playlist? I only put 200 songs on here, so...
might get them all in.
Hey, don't know, it doesn't turn up to 12.
You know what? I'm going to play a contemporary song. We've been talking about new young artists, and this is Richard Hawley, and it's Valentine's Day tomorrow, and it's a beautiful song. So I'm going to dedicate this to Rebecca Sharp, and thanks for the champagne.